What an amazing week we had in Boston for BioConvention 2023. The theme was Stand Up for Science, and boy, did South Carolina do just that, with 41 delegates and representing 17 organizations. James, what stood out for you during convention week?
I think just the activity. I mean, you just said we had over 40 delegates for South Carolina. That was several of our universities like MUSC and Clemson, other organizations like ours, and then probably most exciting, mostly our growth stage companies were there. And I think what stood out is the activity at our pavilion. I mean, I think the biggest suggestion we got next year for improvements was more seating, because you literally couldn't find a seat. If you weren't in a meeting, there was nowhere to sit, which just shows the tremendous activity that we had across all those participants at Bio. And the booth stayed busy the entire week. So really exciting to see. The first time we've had a booth in a long time, certainly our biggest booth, and to have that many people from South Carolina, and then that many people around the country, around the world, want to come meet with our companies and find out what's going on at South Carolina. I mean, I couldn't be more happy with what turned out all week at Bio.
James, it was an exciting time for our delegation, and our booth really did stand out. We heard so many positive comments from our delegation, many who experienced Bio for the first time, some that were veterans of the convention. Close to 400 one-on-one meetings were held by our delegation. So James, what type of meetings or deal flow that our South Carolina companies had highlights the strength of biotech in our state?
Yeah, I think that the great thing is there were meetings that kind of took place with all different kind of entities. We had, I know, a lot of household names from pharma companies, from biotech companies who were interested in the research and the work that our companies and universities were doing. I know we also had a lot of investors come and express interest. We had a lot of people looking to understand how they could get involved in South Carolina more. So we really had meetings that were all over the map. And back to the original thing about the excitement and the buzz at our booth, we did have that big delegation, but you can bring as many people as you want. If you're not doing interesting work, if you don't have great companies, you're not going to have those meetings. We both know, being at Bio a lot, those meetings are hard to come by. People are pretty picky about who they meet with. So the fact that we had almost 400 meetings, the fact that it was nonstop, the fact that it was all these household names who recognize great research and recognize what's happening in South Carolina, I think it really speaks volumes, and is just yet another indicator that people recognize the excitement, that people recognize that South Carolina is a new leader in life sciences. So just really, really great meetings across all kinds of organizations and across all of our different companies.
Another important aspect, and I wanted to get your thoughts on what was most important about having our Deputy Secretary of Commerce, Ashley Teasdale, and the Commerce team at BioConvention with us.
Yeah, it's so important. And obviously Commerce is a great partner of SCbio. Ashley specifically is a board member of ours and couldn't be more supportive. And I was in a lot of meetings with Ashley, and I think that what it shows, and we know that Commerce has just identified life sciences, the industry, as one of their top priorities for the state, because they see the progress. And I think it's such a great signal when we have Ashley, when we have the leadership from Commerce in those meetings. It shows that it's not just us talking, that the state is taking this very seriously. They see the upside and they want this to happen. So having her there, having her knowledge, and really just showing that the state is all in on life sciences, I think it made a huge impact, and it just shows the seriousness that we have and the momentum that we have as a state by having her there.
I agree. It's great to see that continued partnership and even that ramping up. And we're continuing our events here in South Carolina. And our next big international event that we'll be attending, along with Commerce, is Medica in Dusseldorf, Germany. So James, who should contact us if they're interested in being part of that delegation?
Yeah, Medica, which is usually the week before Thanksgiving, surprisingly enough, is big and massive as Bio is. Medica actually kind of dwarfs it. I saw recently that Medica had 81,000 visitors last year come to Dusseldorf. Wow. That's a great conference. It's different than Bio. That is really a place for the state to highlight our medical device and med tech companies. So anyone in that space, any growth stage company in the medical device, in the med tech space, it is a fantastic conference to highlight what you're doing, to look for partnerships, to look for funding. And just like Bio, That's who these companies want to talk to. We do a great job of trying to interface and be the face of South Carolina and make connections, but they really are looking to talk to those companies. So any South Carolina company involved in medical device, they should look into coming with us to Medica and showing all the great things that's happening in South Carolina.
And James, just to wrap up our discussion today, we're doing lots of great things in South Carolina, whether it's BioConvention or Medica. Just sort of where do you see we're at as we're heading into the summer months?
There's just all kinds of activity. I mean, obviously, we just had a founders meeting in Greenville. We have another founders meeting that's great for our growth stage and early stage companies to understand how to grow a company, to how to get investment. We have a networking event coming up in Charleston. We have our mid-year meeting coming up in Columbia, which is going to be yet another great activity with workforce and everything else. So the summer definitely doesn't slow down. We have so much momentum as a state. The state has identified life sciences as the top industry. This is the time to keep pushing forward and being very intentional and aggressive about making South Carolina that next life science leader. So we're well on the way. We certainly aren't slowing down at SCbio. We certainly have an action-packed couple of months, and we're going to keep going and to make sure that we're reaching that potential and seizing all that momentum that we have. So really exciting few months and exciting near future for South Carolina, I think, in the life sciences industry.
I couldn't agree more, James. Well, hopefully you enjoyed our discussion, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next time.
Thank you. See you later.